So I have been reading this in many blogs, in many newspapers, um, and it saddens me that companies like Uber and Lyft leave their, these potty toilets or whatever you want to call them, these mobile toilets in very, very um, busy places, airports, LAX, San Francisco, event places, Coachella. I mean, it's a shit show, right? It's beyond disgusting when you open that door and look inside. Sometimes you just want to throw up and leave immediately. But uh, Uber and Lyft drivers that put in crazy long hours, we know when we got to go, right? And there is nothing more disrespectful and sickening than walking into a cubicle and having to face this. Now, let me be frank here. I know what's going on with Uber. They're downsizing, they're closing hubs, they're charging for inspections. These are all signs that they're running out of money, right? They're cutting, right? Cutting all across the United States. Now, this is an area you don't cut costs in, right? If you're only servicing and cleaning these toilets once or twice a day, or maybe once or twice a week, this is the impression your passengers get at airports, and this is what you think of your drivers. Now, from a psychological point, and I got to add this, I have studied my master's in business and in psychology. When a driver goes and takes a dump, I'm just thinking out loud here, and you might think this may sound very crazy, but with that anger and upset towards Uber, knowing that these are Uber toilets, he'll just crap anyway. He's like, I'm crapping all over you right now. This is the power that I have. I'm just going to basically shit on you, right? And it's not fair towards the next driver, right? A lot of drivers have been taught good manners by their parents. You don't piss on these things. You don't crap all over it, right? But there's something bigger going on here, right? There's a big message here to Uber when people start circulating these toilet pictures. Again, there was an article yesterday in San Francisco, and a driver shared his upset and said, listen, all I can do is complain and complain and complain, and hopefully one day they hear me. Now, yesterday I had a breakthrough. I spoke to some of the main attorneys at Uber for, I would say, I don't know, probably an hour. It was probably one of the best conversations that I've had with any higher Uber employee, Uber management, Uber attorney. Not a paralegal, but an actual attorney. And out of respect, I'm not going to mention his name, but they are aware of my channel. They told me flat out, right? And they are aware that I'm upset. And my upset, my frustrations, my anger towards the company doesn't just stem from myself, from my story, right? It stems from the hundreds and hundreds of emails and text messages that I get daily. It stems from having to look at this here. This is sending drivers and passengers a direct message. We don't care about you. In fact, we'll crap all over you, right? So I gave these guys some really, really, really good advice. I really did. I asked in the middle of the conversation, I said, sir, do you know what your stock price is today? And he goes, no, I don't. I said, well, that just shows you how out of tune you are with your company. Your stock price, by the way, is at its lowest point, lower than that shitter there. It's all the way down the sewage pipes at $28. In fact, today, as I make the video, it's on $27, right? So these things don't surprise me anymore, because when people are out of tune, out of touch with their own company, with their own janitors, with their own costs, saving in the wrong places, right? Not spending the money here. These are the type of pictures that make it into the media. Now, You would think you would learn from this, right? This means, hey, you pay the janitors better, you clean more frequently, you have more toilet paper, there's no sanitizer there during these coronavirus times, etc., etc., etc. This is a petri dish, a breeding ground for the coronavirus, all of their dirty toilets. You would think that smart people would start spending money there and clean up the image and not have to open up the newspaper or go on a blog and see pictures of their own Uber toilets, porta potties, whatever they may be called, right? And this is the point that I really try to drive across. Now, the fact is that they are watching my videos. This is the first video that I'm making since that long conversation. And if those two attorneys, the one lady's a paralegal, they requested I take both the videos down of this paralegal in the spirit of negotiating, in the spirit of mediating, and I did that right away yesterday. I took those two videos down, but they have not been deleted. They've been temporarily blocked and not been made public. And in my next video, ladies and gentlemen, if you've reached this point, if you've actually watched 6 minutes of my video, if these attorneys have watched 6 minutes of my video, I would stay tuned, because probably in 30 to 60 minutes, I'm going to go live. I'm going to dress up for the occasion. I'm going to show respect to the attorneys. And I am going to do what I do very, very well. And that is, I'm good at mediating, because they don't want to walk the walk with me. I can tell you that, right? And I gave them an appetizer, and the main course is still coming, right? So if those attorneys are at the 7-minute mark and you've reached this point, call your colleagues, call your other attorneys on the 4th floor, the 2nd floor, and the 3rd floor. If you do have a direct line to Derek K, because I know you told me you're watching my videos, you might want to huddle together and watch the next video. It will be your only chance before Friday to act decently, to show that you care, to make a difference in 2020, to make a difference in your stock price. Because this army of 3 million drivers is fed up. And to start that live feed, I'm going to play a voice recording of a driver. And I have many such letters, but this one really, really sticks out. And it shows you the current state of affairs. They're pretty shitty, right? And these attorneys should pay very, very close attention to that recording. That recording, along with many, many emails written to me personally, I will make available for the courts, for the judges. And I've also written to the state of California that I wish to provide them with so much evidence in their case against Uber and Lyft as far as the AB5 goes. I'm volunteering my time. I'm volunteering thousands and thousands of screenshots and intel that I've put together to make my case. So I gather my evidence. I've sent them a little bit of this evidence, overnighted it to their officers so that they see it tomorrow. And then we'll talk on Wednesday. And I hope that they jump into action, start paying these janitors, cleaning up these toilets all around the United States, upping their image in the media. And I hope they've learned something from that 60-minute conversation we had yesterday. But we shall see. Because on Friday, we can shake hands and part ways, or we'll see, we'll roll the dice and see where this goes in 2020. Have a remarkable day. Stay out of the crap. If you see something like this, go to a restaurant or a fast food outlet, a McDonald's, and try and find some clean toilets. They do actually pay their janitors. They actually do clean their toilets multiple times a day because they know it's a health hazard. And I don't want you to pick up any disease as a driver, even as a passenger. I don't want you to catch some crazy virus on restrooms that look like this. And by the way, this is at LAX, right? And if you Google, there are more toilet stories about San Francisco and many other locations out there circulating in the media. Have a wonderful day. I hope this was food for thought.